What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. This has been a long time coming, but code What's Good 5 is finally gonna work at trollandtoad.com. They're longtime friends of the channel. I've actually been down to their warehouse multiple times, and I know Troll and Toad Near Mint is a bit of a meme in the community at this point from the past, but what isn't a meme is their customer service. Whenever somebody gets in something and I'm like, hey, have you tried actually emailing them? It goes well pretty much every single time. I also want to note that in the future, there may be something to work out with the buy list and getting a boost on trade-in credit. They currently do 25% trade-in credit, and it will probably boost up to 30%, but they have really great features and an expansive inventory, and the biggest part of this news is actually more so to Central and South American watchers as well as Canadian. I know Ruggles, for example, he can't just order from TCG Player all the time. He's not going to be able to get the cards he wants, and he commonly uses Troll and Toad to get past those borders, and they're some of the best at doing that international shipping. So again, code What's Good 5 finally works over here. And I wanted to give an example of the buy list. People like kind of harp on it here and there while other people know how to use it. I wanted to give a really clear one. Infinite Imperm, it's at 26 on their buy list, on their hot buys, and people are like, wait, that's $10, you know, under market. Well, let's say you sold it at $36, right? Let's get the handy dandy calculator on TCG Player. Well, you're gonna take 13% in fees, so you get 87% of it. That's already down to 31. Then you're gonna use tracked shipping as well in order to make sure you don't get scammed or they don't get their card. That's $27.82. Wow, that's just $1.82 more, and then you can get that 25% trade-in credit, which in the future may also be boosted by What's Good 5 once their system's fixed. That's in the works already, actually. But my point is, before you even get the boosted percentage, this is pretty good and competitive versus what people are actually getting on their card when they sell it online, and they know how to actually work their buy list. And when you do trade in credit, I personally would be saving up for sales like Black Friday. I like to actually stack like my account when I used to vend in the past for their sales specifically and upcoming product, and then you're really winning on their own system. Let's go ahead though and get into today's market watch. Infinite Impermanence is trending upwards on pretty much all copies. This has been happening for a while, but even the unlimited secret rares are going a bit crazy. So that's why I actually like looking over here to see, what are they running out for and desperate for copies on? It's really good as a little dipstick into the market. Now, can we take a moment to collectively laugh and point all together at the top-rated sellers who were trying to charge $118 a box on Toon Chaos Unlimited Edition when it came out? Can we? Oh man, the crash has been beautiful versus what all the greedy vendors were doing. You can see it's still a bunch of top-rated sellers at the bottom listings here. Oh, weird. Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market originally selling it for 80 and code What's Good 5 would work, giving it towards 76. Look at how the market has had to go to them, yet they didn't want to make actual sales rates, and they begrudgingly hit down to this point. It's just like unlimited collector rares aren't as wanted as the first eds, and there's huge gaps in the prices we'll show later, but I wanted a collective point and laugh here at them. I also wanted to give a kind of buyer beware. I would not be buying sealed Dragons of Legend, the complete series, personally right now. It may age well, but you see them actually lining up the boxes on TCG Player above MSRP. MSRP is only $15, and I get it's a clunky box. May I point you to Legendary Duelist Season 1, the first attempt at this repackage. Now, Dragons of Legend has a bunch of cards that are expensive basically because they've only been printed once and they haven't gone in circulation for a long time. Legendary Duelist Season 1 did that with a lot of wanted cards, and look at these bulky boxes being shipped to your front door at $12.88. And this also had the same MSRP. These are what replaced special editions. Now, as for a collectible, I do think dice within the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community do very well on the secondary market, so this is something to actually think about versus everything else. Yes, I know, but the sales rates will probably not be the best. Dice being the most exciting aspect besides a potential Toon Kingdom reprint, though, is a little bit wild, as well as the new cards. The Jinzo Layered, Cyber / Harpy Lady, Time Wizard of Tomorrow, 100 Dragon, those are cool. I appreciate that those are in here, but again, I think unironically the dice are the most exciting aspect of the product, and whenever you have that kind of eyebrow raise, I would probably be avoiding it sealed. Get the singles that you need, and if you really want to pick up the dice, somebody will probably sell them to you for cheap that's ripping them open at locals, if you're able to go to your locals. I'm seeing a lot more pictures of people around there. I personally can't risk it. I had bronchitis 3 times in my early 20s. I know my lungs can't take the crush cards, so if you're out there grinding, the dice are definitely something to think about picking up. Let's talk about ratios and what's happening with the mega packs. I don't have ratios personally. I know US sellers are also getting them in. I'll have them most likely tomorrow. Tier 0 is also going to put pre-sales up today, but everyone's freaking out about 1 Dragoon per case. Oh my gosh, it's shorted 1 Dragoon per case. There are 50 different ultra rares. Now, how many ultras are you going to pull in a case, which, don't get it mixed with other products, is only $240 MSRP, not $720. You are going to pull 6 per 10, right? You're going to pull 6 ultras per 10, and then you're going to open 12 10s in a case. That's 72. When you put that over the 50 spread of ultras, you are on average pulling 1.44 ultras per case. You are more likely to pull 1 Dragoon in your case than 2. That is the natural occurrence. That is the natural likelihood. So stop freaking out about ratios and 1 Dragoon per case when other people are still pulling 2, because that's the more likely thing to happen. The average ultra pull is 1.44 naturally because of how they stack the set. Now, people are actually also pointing out that with the 27 secrets and you're pulling 3 per 10, it's not the best rate either. You're going to have 36 total in your case. You're going to put that over the 27, and that is 1.33, actually a little bit harder to get than the ultras. So cards like Extrab, Savage, and Masquerena do have decent potential long term. I still would not be buying at these prices. I would not be freaking out. Look at the competition. Only 14 sellers here on TCG Player. The competition is going to ramp up like never before, even with the set being slightly shorted. Stop freaking out about the prices. Stop clamoring. Do you remember pre-sales for $22 Boral Swords? I remember. What did they drop to? 12. Was that in part thanks to the promos giving so much value to vendors? Yes. Are there no promos this year? Yes. But I would still stop freaking out, and I think you'll see a lot of price drops from here rather than increases, considering the competition is nowhere where it usually is at with the megatons. Just chill and wait. That's my honest advice. I usually don't take that hard of a stance, but man, the community has been freaking out. Speaking of freaking out, we saw Predaplant Verde Anaconda. It has gone from 23 to 26 and now all the way up till 30. I warned you to get yours sooner than later. Where it lands, I originally did think 42 to 45 would be the spike once everybody clamors for their engine, but I really don't know where the coolout / respikes will be. I do think this is not its ceiling on the card though, but it is a very strong look, as now it is worth the MSRP of the product that it comes in, the $30 boxes of Dual Overload. Also, Red Eyes Fusion has been talked about a lot. The commons are running out of quantities for certain sets on the market. You have the more recent Legendary Duelist Season 1 common, actually just not much there, and the original Legendary Duelist actually has more copies, and then there's the Legendary Dex 2, which did get re-waived, so this card has a capped ceiling with two recent products having shelf life still out there, but the super rare has been fluctuating a lot. We've seen it go up to 30, we've seen it fall back down. Where's it at right now? An Unlimit 21, a first ed at 40. Very, very crazy. People love hollowing out their decks, even during this time where they can't go to events and show that off. And finally, speaking of the Megatons, we have the Blue Eyes White Dragon JMPS version all the way up. Yeah, it's going crazy. People buy out these specific versions of cards. I saw this actually on the Crush Cards Discord marketplace. I've been hanging out in there a lot if you guys want to check out a really wholesome community. It's been awesome hanging out in there. And they have this marketplace thing I like to visit. I don't know when it comes to cards like these how the fallout will be, but I know that there used to be vendors that would get into like deals with the factory and come out with thousands of the jump promos who probably are sitting not even thinking about this and are going to go, huh? And start listing 50 at a time just to try to clear it. So do be aware, there's boys with deep quantities somewhere of these that are able to crash the market at any time, but it's not in their interest to do so, so they'll probably play the game a bit smarter. I also wanted to shout out Midnight Dreams. What's good 10 I believe, over on their site, will get you 10% off of their playmats, and they have an awesome new one with Dragoon, Alistair, and the good old Ecclesia teaming up, as they probably will be in the metagame. He's ahead on this one, so already cheap mats, getting even cheaper, and also supporting the channel when you use that code. And he also put up, I love his segment, When Does Wacky Wisecracks? He did a collab with Stay Classy and has a metal field center at well that just looks oh so nice and comical for Winda. So if you're a fan of Winda or Midnight Dreams and that little humor series, be aware he has a new playmat out as well as a collab field center. Speaking of Stay Classy, they put out the Red Cyber Dragon. I expect this to go fast. Most of their Cyber Dragon products literally sell out in a day to 2. Use code WATSGOOD5 over at Stay Classy, support the channel, and get your mirrored Cyber Dragon. They have a blue one facing the other way, Cyber Twin Dragons. It really looks awesome. I hope I get 2 of them so I can give you guys one away, but I don't know if I'll be able to. He sells out of those really fast. Flame Spirit Ignis is up. This is a card I did not think I'd ever show on Market Watch. You can tribute a face-up fire monster to inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each fire monster in your graveyard. Notice there's no once per turn clause on this. Apparently, you're supposed to combo with something like Fire Fist and stack your graveyard, loops, my brother, and like pop, 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 and do massive damage. I don't think that this is really warranted in terms of its price or whatever hype's going on with it, slash the buyout, big brain 500 IQ, bringing Fire Fist to the front of the meta and summoning this to burn my opponent for game. But there you have it. That's a thing that's happening, and a card maybe you didn't even know existed, all the way back from LODT. Speaking of Rise of the Duelist, this has been falling out while everybody's eyes are on the Megatons and their wallets are saving up. We've seen fluctuations in a lot of the cards, but Ecclesia down towards 20 here, Maximus all the way down towards 13, and then you're still probably playing more so 3 Fleur de Lis, down from 25 towards 21. We're seeing, even though Rise was shorted, the top heavy value is helping clear out the bottom value. Odd Eyes Revolution falling from 12 to under 10 again. You have Chaos Ruler at 6. I was talking about how if you put a card like this in iGas that is so thirsty for any value besides Lightning Storm, how this would be like a $30 card. Blows my mind. Same with Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. You look at other sets, it's just that these are so well constructed sets that great cards like these happen to stay evened out in price. We're seeing a lot more play with Ice Dragon's Prison and people trying this out too. Take out the Block Dragon and Adamantipator, that kind of stuff. So that's why it's staying so well in value. And we see Shadol's Schism has also been clinging around the same value. If we click on it, I'm pretty sure it's closer to $6. Yes, with the shipping towards $6. So not really falling out there, but that's why this card, people are grabbing 3 of them, is staying up. It's a back and forth control card that people really seem to enjoy in this format. Now, looking at Toon Chaos, there's an interesting development here among the collector rares. Unlimited Stardust is staying at 230, where the first ed is 260. Unlimited BLS is falling out fast, down under Stardust, 215, 220, 220, and you see a bunch more of them appearing on the market, so that people are having to undercut each other, where the first ed is hanging up, trying to cling on to 300 as the top collector rare. Now, we saw some cheaper on market for the first eds. Those have disappeared, so maybe some deeper pockets or some concerned people trying to make an investment are playing the game. But when you have the top collector rares being close in value to the bottom Starlights, it's very clear the future of this market when they're going to start shoving out 15 of these per side set. There's just going to be too many, and you're going to see the fallout. Like, there's still only 1 per every 3 boxes, yet the lowest went down towards 30 freaking 5. It's crazy out here when we're seeing the fallout with what's happening with collector rares. Now, I do think if we had an actual metagame, like in terms of being able to play at YCS, seeing tops, people scrambling for deck lists, and for Noble Knights are a true option. And I think that people hollowing out their decks would be inclined to get more of these, and they're very cheap on the market for what they are. The unlimited stacking up way fast, the first edition still with a $30 gap. Will that gap narrow? Maybe sales rates will force it to. I think long-term first edition collector rares are the best, but I think only 3 to 4% are going to really hang in there, and you're going to have spikes from metagames, just like you do with ultimate rares on certain collector rares. Like if there's a format where everyone's playing Desires, this / the ultimate could spike up. Collector Rare Extrav, right now the highest rare, you could see it spike up, but right now it's getting a coolant because we have another reprint of it. There's just so much with this market that's wonky. That's why you're going to see like 4 on each set try to hang to the top, because let's put it this way. In 4 cases, you're going to end up pulling 16 collector rares, and there's 15 different ones. So 4 cases is the RNG to see every single collector rare, and you're hoping in your 1 case that out of the 4 you pull, it's 1 chase one. So on average, there's 4 different chase ones right here in Toon Chaos. It would make sense that, like, out of those, you would on average pull 1 chase and get lucky, but it's still pure RNG. You're always risking clumping. You're always risking when you're buying product like that, even on a mass scale, and gambling a bit. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these more intense, deep discussions. Also, check out trollandtoad.com. I know this will actually be much bigger news for my international audience. That tends to be a lot of the consumers that ask me about Troll and Toad, and if I could get a discount code there and stuff. It's been pretty demanding, so What's Good 5 now works over at Troll and Toad for you guys.